Life has a strange way of teaching its most powerful lessons. Sometimes it whispers to us, but other times it shocks us awake. One unexpected moment can shake everything we believe, forcing a wave of emotions to rise all at once: shock, anger, sadness, happiness, and finally, motivation. This is one such story. A story where pain became fuel, where anger turned into action, and where happiness was earned through resilience. This is not a tale of perfect choices or smooth success. It's a human story, messy, emotional, and real. It's a reminder that even when life breaks you suddenly, it might just be preparing you for something stronger than you ever imagined. Let's meet Daniel. He lived in a modest town where life moved slowly and predictably. He worked a regular job, earned just enough to get by, and dreamed quietly of a better future. His days followed a familiar, almost comforting routine: wake up early, work hard, return home tired, and then repeat. Though his life was simple, it was stable. He held on to a few core beliefs. He believed that effort would eventually be rewarded. He believed honesty mattered. He believed patience would pay off. And most importantly, he believed that tomorrow would be better than today. That belief, that simple, powerful belief, was about to be tested in the most brutal way. One afternoon, Daniel was called into his manager's office. The conversation lasted only a few minutes, but it shattered his world. Budget cuts, company losses. His position was no longer needed. The words hung in the air, cold and final. Shock hit him first, a numbing disbelief. His mind refused to accept what he just heard. He walked home in a daze, the city noise fading into a dull hum. He replayed the conversation over and over again in his head, desperately hoping he had misunderstood. But reality soon settled in, and when it did, anger followed. A hot, burning anger. Anger at the system that treated people like numbers on a spreadsheet. Anger at the broken promises of loyalty and hard work. And most of all, anger at himself for being so naive, for believing that loyalty was enough. Sleepless nights became his new routine. The mail brought a steady stream of bills, each one a reminder of his new precarious reality. Self-doubt, a cruel and persistent whisper, crept into his mind. Why him? Why now? What was he supposed to do next? The struggle deepened with each passing day. He saw friends moving forward with their lives, getting promotions, buying homes, while he felt completely stuck, standing still. Job applications went unanswered. Rejections replaced responses. His confidence, once a steady flame, faded to a flicker. Some days, even getting out of bed felt like an admission of defeat. The world he knew had crumbled, and he was lost in the wreckage. In his lowest moments, Daniel began questioning everything: his choices, his values, his dreams. Was he on the right path? Had he wasted years of his life? He found himself spending hours online, not just looking for jobs, but searching for answers. He read stories of others who had failed and risen again. He spoke to older people in his community, people who had lived through their own hardships and come out the other side. He was looking for a sign, a map, anything to guide him out of the darkness. One evening, while helping his grandfather organize a box of old papers, the silence became too much to bear. Daniel finally spoke honestly about his anger, his fear, and his feeling of hopelessness. His grandfather listened quietly, not interrupting, just letting him pour it all out. When Daniel finished, his grandfather looked at him with kind, knowing eyes and said something simple, yet incredibly powerful. Life will shock you. It will make you angry. But what you do next decides whether you grow bitter or you grow better. Those words stayed with Daniel, echoing in his mind long after he left. He realized he had been passive, waiting for life to fix itself, waiting for an opportunity to fall into his lap. He'd been waiting for the world to change, instead of changing his response to it. His grandfather's words weren't just advice, they were a challenge. Bitter or better? The choice was his. The turning point didn't arrive with a sudden job offer or a lottery win. It arrived with a quiet, firm decision. Daniel chose responsibility over resentment. He stopped asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and started asking, What can this teach me? That single shift in perspective changed everything. He started waking up early again, not to go to a job he hated, but to invest in himself. He enrolled in online courses to learn new skills. He started exercising to clear his head. He rebuilt his discipline one day at a time. Progress was slow, it was painfully slow. There were days he wanted to give up, days the old anger and despair returned. But he kept going. Each small achievement, finishing a chapter, learning a new piece of code, getting a positive reply to an email restored a tiny piece of his confidence. And then came a moment of unexpected happiness. It didn't come from success. It came from self-respect. He looked in the mirror one morning and realized he was no longer running from his struggle. He was facing it, head on. And in that moment, he felt proud of the person he was becoming. Through this process, Daniel learned that shock reveals reality. It strips away the illusions we build around ourselves and shows us the world as it truly is. He learned that anger reveals our values. It shows us what we truly care about, what lines we refuse to let be crossed. And he learned that hardship reveals character. It's not about whether you fall, but about how you get back up. Life wasn't being unfair to him. It was challenging him to grow, to become more than he was. He discovered a profound truth. Motivation does not come before action, it follows it. You don't wait to feel motivated to start. You start, and the motivation finds you along the way. Happiness, he realized, is not found in comfort or in avoiding problems. It's found in progress, in the feeling of overcoming challenges. And that anger, that raw, destructive emotion he felt, he learned that when it's controlled and channeled, it can become the most powerful fuel for change. The lesson was crystal clear. You don't control what happens to you, but you control who you become because of it. Months later, Daniel's life looked different. He wasn't suddenly rich or famous, but he was stronger. He had found new opportunities, piecing together freelance work and eventually landing a role in a field he was genuinely excited about. He rebuilt his financial stability, but more importantly, he had rebuilt his belief in himself. His confidence was different now. It didn't come from external success or the approval of others, it came from survival. It was forged in the fire of his struggle. The man who once felt broken now stood resilient. His smile returned, not because life had become easy, but because he knew he was capable of handling it when it got hard. He had transformed his greatest setback into his greatest strength. Life will shock you, it may anger you, it may break your heart. That is a guarantee. But within every hardship, within every moment of pain, lies a lesson waiting to shape you into the person you are meant to be. If you are facing shock, anger, or disappointment today, remember Daniel's story. Remember that your pain can become your power, but only if you choose growth over bitterness. Take one small step forward, learn one new thing. Reach out to one person, use your emotions as energy, and let today's struggle become tomorrow's strength. Your story is not over. It is just getting stronger. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content to help you build a stronger tomorrow.